NRG took the last spot for Masters Tokyo after knocking C9 out of playoffs in a close series. But what you might not know is that Finesse openly admitted to stealing C9's strategies on Lotus after beating them on the map.
You're exactly matching what Cloud9 were doing.
We like 3 C9 strats on that map.
In this video, we'll take a closer look at how NRG beat C9 with their own strats. C9 became one of the best teams on Lotus when they introduced Neon into their comp. Prior to this game against NRG, C9 had 5 wins and 1 loss on the map. Neon brings a lot of pace to a map with 3 sites, as well as a very effective stun for the small chokes on Lotus. This is originally why Breach was a high priority pick, but now all those things can be achieved with a couple smart Neon lineups. NRG fully adopted Neon on Lotus, as you can see them playing Raze and Jett earlier in the season. Let's talk about the first strategy that NRG took from C9, which was used in C9's match against Leviathan. Leaf throws a stun lineup which denies the wide swing angle from defenders. You can see Taco get hit by the stun when Lev tried to contest A main. This stun lineup paired with Sky Flash gives attackers a lot of A main pressure. All of C9's Lotus strats and eventually NRG's Lotus strats revolve around this setup, which creates attacker side priority of A main. NRG steal this setup, but also build on top of it by investing Neon Wall for Victor to quickly push up. We can find some rounds where C9 still have trouble taking A main, when defenders invest more utility. Leviathan were able to push C9 out of A main in these following rounds. But NRG add in the Neon Wall, which gives Victor a safe deep path into A main and makes Sky Flash really hard to dodge. NRG stole this strat and made it better. We can find multiple rounds where C9 attempted to contest A main against NRG, but end up dying to their own new and improved strat. When A main is controlled well with this Neon and Sky setup, this opens up a bunch of different options for attackers. C9 shows us one of these options in the following clip. In this round against Leviathan, C9 take A main, then open the revolving door. This pulls defenders toward A to prepare for the execute. In that instant, they quickly pivot into B and take the site. Also take note of the Killjoy lurk, which ensures control of B main during the execute. Now we can see this exact same strat used by NRG in their match against C9. In round 5, we see the Neon lineup and Sky utility used to take A main control. Once A main control is taken, they open the door and throw some utility onto A to threaten the execute. On the timing that C9 over-rotate, they break the A-link door and quickly pivot into a B execute. You can see that NRG also have their Killjoy lurk B main to ensure that they maintain B main control during this execute. Here's a side-by-side comparison of both teams running this strat. Although the idea to pivot from A main into B isn't necessarily a C9 strat, as you can see Fnatic doing it well in this following clip, you can still tell that C9's map theory has been adopted by NRG. It's a lot easier to transition into B when the threat from Neon Sky and A main is so big. Here are some more mid-round versions of the pivot from A main into B used by NRG against C9. In some rounds, it's wise to actually hit A after taking control of A main. If you never show a real A execute resulting from the A main control, defenders will eventually stop rotating toward A and your B pivot loses its effectiveness. It's important to mix it up to make it harder for enemies to read you. You can see C9 convert a round by actually executing A in this round against Leviathan. NRG also do this in round 12 against C9. They take A main control and open the door, which seems like the setup for another B hit through A link, but instead they actually go A and take the site. Another option that C9 shows us is to simply use Killjoy ult to take A. Once A main control is taken with the Neon Sky combo, there are a lot of decent spots to drop a Killjoy ult, which will ensure a free plant. Their plan is to maintain stairs control with Viper utility to ensure that they have good angles to peek the bomb. NRG can be seen trying to do the same thing against C9. They take A main control with the Neon Sky setup, then eventually use Killjoy ult to take the site. The bomb gets planted on the left side of the box for A main, and NRG try to maintain control of stairs for the post plant. However, NRG didn't account for C9's Killjoy ult this round, so they get pushed out of stairs and aren't able to close out the round. Another strat that C9 like to run is this B execute, where everyone walks up close B main, then Skydog runs in with Neon close behind it. C9 uses strat in this round against Crew to get a fast timing onto B, and Leaf is able to punish the B upper player for attempting to fight. We can see this exact strat used by NRG in round 4 against C9, where they walk up B main and use the dog to entry for Neon. Jake hits a really quick TP, which baits Victor's shot for Leaf's swing out of the Viper wall, but you can see that the idea is there. It's better seen again in round 11, where NRG walk up B main and use Skydog to entry for Neon again. Victor even gets a similar opportunity to kill the B upper player like Leaf did earlier, but isn't able to capitalize. This strat is a natural progression after A main importance has been established from the first set of strats. While defenders are focused on how to deal with A main, they'll be caught off guard by a 5-man B execute. When C9 called this strat against Crew have 3 members focused on taking a fight A main. When NRG end up calling the strat against C9 are also the ones caught with 3 members pushing A main, not ready for the fast B aggression. NRG haven't just copied specific strats, they fully understand their use cases and how they interact with the flow of the game. The next strat I want to talk about is this simple fast C-mound push, which C9 pull out against Leviathan. Neon can push and clear mounds so quickly with the Sky Flash that it really punishes anyone trying to fight for the angle. Take note of the Killjoy Molly, which is thrown to deny any defenders who push mound from escaping for free. C9 gets some nice opening kills and transition into a C post plant. Even without any opening kills, when Neon and Sky get close to C, their paired utility threatens a very strong execute, like in this round against Crew. You can see NRG adopt this fast mound push with the high Sky Flash and use it against C9. NRG also throw the exact same Killjoy Molly for the same purpose. Then, they transition into a site hit, using utility to flood the site while Neon runs in to take space. Only another Neon can really counter the pace from Neon, so in a different round, Leaf attempts a challenge at Mound, but the best they get for it is a 1-for-1 trade. We can clearly see NRG adopting the strats and general map theory that C9 dominated with on this map. They didn't just copy the strats, they copied their entire game plan, then threw their own twists for mid-round calls. It's kind of funny, but it makes sense that C9 didn't have great answers for their own strats. The one thing I didn't see NRG take advantage of were the fast rotates out of A main. When C9 started to be contested in A main, they could quickly run out to C before enemies could rotate back. Neon's mobility allows for this, as she can easily run to the other side of the map and still entry for her team. C9 did this a lot in all their games on Lotus, and it got them many rounds by outrunning defenders. But NRG never really showed this pattern, probably because C9 never showed a good answer for the new and improved A main aggression, so NRG were never forced to rotate out of A. C9 had a great season despite all the drama in the preseason with the signing of 2 relatively unknown players. The series between C9 and NRG was incredibly close, but ultimately NRG had way more experience in these high pressure scenarios. I look forward to seeing how C9 bounces back in LCQ. And it's insane to see NRG playing this comp right now at Masters against Na'Vi and finding a good amount of success, despite it originally being C9's Lotus playstyle. At least C9 are being represented at Masters somehow. Let me know if you catch any interesting strats or plays at Masters that you want me to cover. And as always, thanks for watching.